Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben and the mission of this channel is to provide confidence and life advice for the average Joe. And in this video today, I want to talk about how to achieve a goal successfully. And this wasn't a video that I intended to do today, but I heard an excerpt from an interview with Manson at an event, and I really just wanted to share with you that excerpt and a little bit about the meaning of it and what it can mean for achieving your goals successfully. So during a Q&A session, Manson is asked about what his opinion more or less is on goals. And this is what he had to say about goals and their achievement.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of goals, and this is a big reason why. Because goals become some sort of metric that we measure ourselves by. And if you happen to pick like a kind of a crappy goal, like a really, just an unhealthy goal, you start measuring yourself by an unhealthy way. So I focus on habits.
So this is the first point that I want to talk about. If you pick a bad goal or an unhealthy goal, you can start to measure yourself against it. You can start to measure your self-worth against it in a very unhealthy way. So let's say, for example, that you set a goal in your life that you want to be in an amazing relationship in 1 year's time. Like, you want to be in a relationship with somebody that you think is the one and somebody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And so you start going out on dates and meeting people and working on expanding your social life so that you can meet more people and try to find that person who is the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, potentially. But 3 months go by, 6 months go by, 9 months go by, and yes, you've been on a few dates and second dates and things looked positive in some cases and then they just fell apart. But with goals like that, because you have set yourself a goal that you have actually got very little control over, because you don't know if a person is the right person, you don't know if this is a goal that you can actually achieve within a year, you start to measure yourself and your self-worth against whether or not you've completed that goal. And you might even start to wonder, are you even a fundamentally lovable person? Are you someone who is just destined to be alone for the rest of your life? And these ideas and thought patterns that emerge from having just set a bad or unhealthy goal from the beginning can derail your self-improvement and your general progress in life in ways that you might not have been able to foresee. But let's get back to the presentation.
But basically, habits are far superior. It's much better to make your goal be, I'm going to exercise 5 times a week, than say, I need to lose 15 kilos by April 1st. Because when you do I'm going to lose 15 kilos by April 1st, you start judging yourself by something that you don't have 100% control over. And also there's a lot of research that finds that when people use external results as a goal, they cut corners and they cheat and they do bad things.
So yeah, there it is again. Goals inevitably make you judge yourself against something that you cannot control. So in this example, if you set the goal that you want to lose 15 kilos in the next 3 months or so, the actual weight loss itself is not something that you have physical control over. And it's the same thing with all goals. The end result of all of our goals is something that we have no control over. We have zero control over the outcome of our goals. So what do we do instead? Is all hope lost?
But when your goal becomes, I just want to exercise 5 times a week, you do that long enough, you'll probably lose 15 kilos at some point. But the focus is on the process, the focus is on the daily habit, it's not on the end result.
So if we don't have control over the outcome, and if by setting bad or unhealthy goals, we're actually setting ourselves up to act in unhealthy ways and to take part in unhealthy behaviors and life decisions, then what do we do? Well, that's where the process of building habits comes in instead, because by focusing on the process, the end result will come inevitably. And this is something that I've spoken about on this channel many times, this idea that rather than looking to the massive action and constantly looking towards the end goal, you focus on just taking the next step, focus on taking the daily steps that you need to take in order to work towards your goal in a more positive and profound way.
The other problem with like external goals like that is that even when you hit them, you lose them, you know? So I could say, I want to write 20,000 words this month. And I could like get up every morning and bust my ass to write that 20,000 words and write a bunch of crappy words and write a bunch of stuff that people don't like reading, and it's like, but hey, I made my 20,000 words. And then the next month it's like I'm back to my same old self. Whereas if I say instead, my goal is to wake up and write 1,000 words every morning, it becomes a habit.
So yeah, this is another thing that we inevitably find ourselves falling into. We set ourselves this massive goal, and let's say, for example, you want to go out and build an online business. So you go and you decide what you want to do, and you set up all your social media accounts, and then you go and you buy a website, and then you go and write a bunch of articles, and you do all this stuff, and you do all of that kind of filler work that you think needs to be done in order to build an online business. And yeah, you've done all that stuff. It's all there. The skeleton, the framework of that end result is there, but nothing's happened. You've not actually built something yet that is going to last. You've not even made any money from it. And so the next month, you're exactly where you were before, just with 500 to £1,000 down the drain and nothing yet to show for it. Whereas the process of actually building a business is taking daily steps, making it a habit to work on your business, work on your side hustle, whatever it is, on anything that you want, working on it, taking those daily steps, because you probably won't see the progress straight away.
The external results are a side effect. Like, they happen naturally. So yeah, basically, it's the focus is on the internal process rather than achieving like this external result, this external result, this external result. Because if you nail the process, the external results will happen one day anyway.
So you might not have control over whether or not you are going to put on 20, 30 pounds of muscle this year. You might not have that under your control at all, but what is under your control is hitting the gym 2 or 3 times a week, making sure that you're eating the right foods, making sure that you're avoiding the wrong foods, making sure that you're getting the right amount of rest. You are not in physical control of how your body builds itself up. You're not going to be physically knitting those muscle fibers together yourself. You are only in control of the internal process of getting yourself to the gym, of getting yourself to that healthy meal, of getting yourself the appropriate amount of rest. And the same thing applies for all goals. If you want to achieve your goals successfully, stop focusing on the end result and start to focus on the day-to-day behaviors. Focus on the habits that you have to build and the person you have to be every single day in order to achieve your goals. So I hope you have found this video useful. Of course, if you have done, let me know what your thoughts and questions are in the comment section down below. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel if you like this kind of content, because I am putting out a video every single day, Monday to Friday. So if this is the kind of content that you're interested in, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. But otherwise, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very soon.